Hello, my name is Russell Smith, and I'm the Instructional Technology Facilitator for Fuquay-Varina High School, as well as Carpenter Elementary, and I'm here with another Tech Tidbit. This time I wanted to show you the brand spanking new website from Newseum, which you might be familiar with. They have launched a new site that showcases their digital tools that focus on the First Amendment. The site is called newseumed.org. That's NEWSEUMED.org, and there is a ton of stuff to explore on the new newseumed.org website, such as the tools, the classes and training, the collections, the ideas for how you can teach in your class, joining the ed community. But to access all the tools that this site has to offer, you do have to sign up for a free Newseum Ed account. So I'm going to click sign up and go through that sign up process. You can do that too, and I'll join you after the break. So as I mentioned before, the new newseumed.org website focuses on digital tools that deal with the First Amendment, and they're free as long as you sign up for your account. And they're used for media literacy and our First Amendment freedoms. As I scroll down, you can see all the different things you can do after you create your account. You can view the different ed tools that are available. These are flexible lesson plans, and they're downloadable primary source documents and unique videos which support instruction in history, media literacy, and civics. And they're broken up into sections. You have your collections, units, lessons, activities, artifacts, and more. If you click on and more, you can filter and sort how you want to search for the different tools you want to use. For example, you can filter by the type of tool, such as you can filter by the collection, the unit, the lesson, the activity, artifact, a timeline, or a map. You can filter by topics such as case studies, civil rights, Civil War, the Cold War Constitution, cultural diversity, current events, and so many more. You can filter by themes, civics and citizenship, historical connections, media literacy. You can filter by century from the 1500s all the way up to the 2000s. You can filter by state, depending on the state, if it could be the state that you're currently teaching in, or it could be a selection of states based on the region that you want to cover. You can select your grade level, all the way from elementary school all the way up to college and university, as well as professional development. You can choose your format, this is online, in the classroom, or at the museum. And you can also filter by copyright, whether it's restricted or public domain. When looking at ed tools, you can filter and sort, or you can search. So for example, if you want to search for a topic that's related to the First Amendment, you could type in civil rights, and the results are filtered and sorted in a number of ways. You have maps, collections, you have units, artifacts, more artifacts, and you can scroll through and take a look at something that looks interesting. For example, if you want to look at an artifact that the Kennedy presses Congress for Civil Rights Action 1963, you can click on it and see what's available. So this is a newspaper resource from the Dallas Morning News. It's the front page, and the copyright's restricted. And you could share the artifact for people who don't have a Newseum Ed account by creating a one-time share URL and password. So you could share it with others, such as the students, if you needed to. But you can click or zoom in to this front page of the Dallas Morning News and pan and have a discussion with the students with the contents of these primary sources. If you want to take a look at a lesson, can click here. For example, I'm going to click on Civil Rights, Your Stories of Change. And it provides all the units that are involved. This is Civics and Citizenship. It provides the lessons. It shows you the summary, the grade level, and the time it takes to teach the lesson. And it provides you with the materials that you need, such as a downloaded worksheet, internet access, tools for documenting your project's progress, including journals, cameras, tape recorders, and video cameras, and more. And it gives you a step-by-step process of what you need. You have your downloads right there in a PDF or a document format. Looking at the Ed collections, you can explore important topics in depth using primary resources, artifacts from the museum's collection, and interactive learning tools. So there are a few that are available currently, and I'm sure there are more in development. One collection that's available is Making a Change, the First Amendment and the Civil Rights Movement. Explore how the First Amendment shaped the Civil Rights Movement. Hundreds of historical newspapers, videos, and photographs reveal how the 5 freedoms empowered the people fighting for change and those fighting against it. Another Ed collection that's available is Women, Their Rights, and Nothing Less, the First Amendment and the Women's Suffrage Movement. Delve into one of the largest online collections of primary sources and historical periodicals about the women's suffrage movement. From early national conferences to the foundation of publications dedicated to women's rights, suffragists embraced the First Amendment and pioneered dramatic new forms of protest. Coming soon is going to be one that's called Freedom and the Balance, and it deals with the freedoms that were might have been compromised in the wake of 9/11. But that's in development. It's going to be available in March 2016. In the Ed Ideas section of the Museum Ed website, you can browse tips, classroom ideas, collection highlights, and breaking news connections from the Museum Ed staff. Available right now are things such as a free Civil War poster, case studies such as How Much is Too Much, Civics and Citizenship, Living History with Mary Beth Tinker, a case study, True Threat or Venting, a water case study, Deep Throat and Anonymous Sources, a historical connection, Plessy Brown versus Board of Education, the anniversary, and a whole lot more, including the Baltimore riots, museum resources, a teachable moment, and there are 4 pages of that. So there's lots of things you can browse through in the Ed Ideas section of the Museum Ed website. There's also a social media aspect to the museumed.org website called Ed Community. Using Ed Community, you can connect to other users and other learners and educators by sharing your Museum Ed stories and be inspired by your peers' ideas. So if you found a way to successfully use the tools for Museum Ed in your classroom, feel free to share your story by filling out the web form on this page. And you can also read some of the stories from the people who have contributed their testimonials to the site. So that's a brief overview of what museumed.org has to offer. Thanks for watching. My name is Russell Smith, and I'll be back soon with another Tech Tidbit. Take care.